Yo, what's good? It's Carlos. You're now listening to Hot Streak Podcast with the one and only Saif in the building, and of course me. What's good? What's good?
Chilling, bro. Happy to be back for another week. It's been pretty lit this week, honestly.
Yeah, a lot of news to cover. Starting off in the NBA, we're going to start off on some unfortunate news. DeMarcus Cousins is out for the remainder of the season with a ruptured Achilles tendon. He injured it against the Houston Rockets. Man, it was so sad to see that video because there's 8 seconds left on the clock. He misses a free throw. The team's up by like 6 or 7. And he ruptured his Achilles trying to go for a rebound off of a missed free throw.
Yeah, hustle play.
Yeah, and it's been the first injury of this magnitude in his entire career. I don't know. I believe the severity of the injury is like not partially torn, not partially ruptured. It's completely destroyed. Like his Achilles is ruptured.
Wow.
So a long recovery process for him. And hopefully he comes back better, stronger, and more determined than ever. Because it's going to be a mental battle more than a physical battle. I think it's like a 6-month recovery process, or at least 6 months. He's going to have surgery. He's going to have to learn how to walk, learn how to run. Obviously, gain all the strength back, and that's going to be pretty tough for him. And then more injury news. John Wall actually had knee surgery earlier in the week. And he's going to be sidelined for about, I think, 6 to 8 weeks or 2 months or something. And so he's going to miss the All-Star game as well, along with DeMarcus Cousins. So they're going to get replaced by Paul George and Andre Drummond. So there's some new faces on the All-Star team. And then as of Tuesday, which was pretty surprising, when I saw this break, I was like, oh, man. Kevin Love. Fractured metatarsal or something. It's going to sideline him for at least 6 weeks. And that's not good news for a team that's already dysfunctional as it is, losing a main guy in your rotation. But I don't know. The Cavs seem to not really be worried about Kevin Love anyway. He seems like he's halfway out the door in Cleveland. But, I mean, it's unfortunate because you never want to see a player get an injury like that. And hopefully he has a speedy recovery. Lonzo Ball actually is progressing with his injuries as well.
Dude needs to come back already, man.
He has a sprained MCL. They're not going to rush him whatsoever.
Okay.
Yeah, Luke Walton said that there's a potential that he might play in this road trip, but that's only if his knee progresses to the point where he can actually go through a full contact practice, go through warm-ups, and play a full game. Yeah. I wouldn't want to risk him either, just because, I mean, what's the point? He's a rookie. Why put that much liability on the floor? He could potentially be hurt for a longer period of time if he aggravates that injury any further. So
it's true, and it's not even that bad as it is. Like, he's gonna be back before the All-Star break.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
That's chill. Yeah,
and then so along with the injury news and the All-Star replacements, there's some big trade news in the NBA right now. We just witnessed earlier in the week. That Blake Griffin got traded to the Detroit Pistons. The Pistons receive Blake, Willie Reed, and another role player for Avery Bradley, Tobias Harris, and a first-round pick goes to the Clippers.
Yeah.
What's your initial thought on that?
First round and second round, it looks like Detroit gave away some solid pieces and took a big gamble on Blake Griffin, basically. Because this is a huge price to pay, and like Avery Bradley, Tobias Harris, and Maranovic, those guys are big, and the first and the second round pick, like that's a lot for Blake Griffin, and so they took a huge gamble on it. But I don't know, honestly. I think the Clippers got a good deal, but they also don't have anyone else they can rely on if shit hits the fan. Like Lou Williams is going to save the franchise, and I don't know. Maybe they're just trying to clean house. I guess.
I think they are now Tank City. They're tanking. They have to.
DeAndre's still gone too. Like, I don't think DeAndre's going to stay.
Potentially, Lou Williams, DeAndre Jordan are potentially going to be moved pretty soon too, just because those are the only two assets that they have, and it doesn't make sense for the Clippers to tank and build around those two guys because, first, DeAndre Jordan is not an offensive superstar. He's more of a defensive player. And Lou Williams also does not play any defense, but he is an offensive megastar. So
the Cavs need both of those players.
Yeah, the Cavs, if you're looking at a trade, you are looking at trading DeAndre either to Houston or to the Cavs, and Lou Williams to the Cavs for sure, because they need you trade Lou Williams to the Cavaliers and DeAndre Jordan to the Cavaliers, and you potentially can get Kevin Love, Tristan Thompson, some sort of expiring contract, just because in the offseason the Clippers' goal is to lure LeBron James into their locker room, which I think is as far-fetched as LeBron James going to the Knicks. So I don't know. I don't think the Clippers have a chance at landing LeBron.
Apparently, LeBron has a new interest in playing with the Lakers. That's just a rumor, but I like that rumor.
I like that rumor,
I honestly think it's realistic because everyone wants to be in LA.
Yeah, and then
finish their career.
So the Clippers are just getting rid of everyone left and right, when in reality they should have got rid of one person and one person only, and that's Doc Rivers. Maybe Austin Rivers. I mean, Austin Rivers gives you some quality minutes, but definitely Doc Rivers. He doesn't know what he's doing. They've went to 6 straight playoff appearances and lost every single second round. It doesn't look like the Clippers are tanking. Potentially going to be the worst team in the league pretty soon. And I'm not sure what they can do, who they can lure. Jerry West and their new GM have a reputation of winning, so that's what they're counting on. But I don't know. It's pretty far-fetched for me.
Yeah, same here. We'll see what happens with that scenario too as time progresses, but
and then the Bulls and the Pelicans were actually trying to make a deal on Nikolai Mirotic, but that didn't really fall through. The Pelicans definitely need some offense because they lost their biggest offensive contributor in DeMarcus Cousins, potentially letting the Pelicans slide out of that spot because that spot in the playoff hunt. Just because I don't think they could keep up with the rest of the teams. Like in the second half of the season, either teams are getting better or bad teams are just playing bad. And the Pelicans are probably not going to get better in the second half of the season.
Yeah, especially with the huge loss of DeMarcus. It's not looking out for them.
Yeah, and then if there is a trade involving Anthony Davis, basically the Pelicans are rebuilding too. Just because they can't lock on to DeMarcus Cousins because he's going to be a free agent. And then if you trade Anthony Davis, you have no franchise. And I'm pretty sure that the Pelicans are going to trade Anthony Davis. If he doesn't, because he got an extension, so he's under contract, so he's not going to be a free agent for a while. And they're not going to win. They can't win. So he has to get traded.
Yeah. And another thing with DeMarcus, like, I don't even know, because he's not even getting paid that big superstar salary yet. Hopefully he can make a comeback and it's worth it for whichever team like signs him too.
Yeah.
But Anthony Davis, I don't know if he's I don't know if the Pelicans would trade him because who else would they have? Because DeMarcus Cousins isn't a for sure thing, you know? So, like, if they lose Anthony Davis, there's the only star they have.
That's true. I just saw this record-breaking night for James Harden earlier this week. The first player ever to record a triple-double while scoring 60 points.
Jeez, he scored 60 this week?
He scored 60 points against the Orlando Magic, where Houston won by 7 points. Wow.
What the hell?
Wow. That is impressive. I mean, no one else has ever done that, so you take that and you put that at the top of one of the most impressive basketball things to records. I mean, his name is going to be in the record books for a while. No one's gonna be able to get to 60 points with a triple double. I mean, the closest guy who could probably do it is Russell Westbrook, and he's gonna have to put up 70 shots to get 60 points.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, man.
But, yeah, him and Curry do some like really like unbelievable stuff. Honestly, every time they do something crazy, it's like, damn. Like, I'm surprised, but I'm not surprised because it's you.
Yeah, like last Saturday, we actually had a potential finals matchup preview: the Warriors versus the Celtics, and Kyrie Irving and Steph Curry came to play. Man, they were on fire. I think I saw this play. Kyrie Irving probably has the best handles in NBA history. He can put anybody on skates. He can get to the basket any way possible. And Steph Curry, obviously the best shooter ever. 49 points. I think he had 8 3-pointers or something. It's ridiculous.
Jeez.
But that was a good little preview for potentially a playoff or a finals matchup. And then I don't know if you saw this today, earlier in the week, Saif.
Yeah.
I tweeted who would win in a 7-game series. The Warriors from 2017, so last year's champions, or the 96 Bulls.
Oh, I actually, I saw that, and I picked the Bulls.
You picked the Bulls?
Just because a few days before that, I was looking at that roster, that 96 Chicago Bulls roster. I was like, dude, this is the best team like you could put together. But like, and then I pictured in my mind like how they would play against today. It would be different, but like it's ridiculous. I don't know. That was a stacked team.
Honestly, I think it goes to 7 games, it goes to the last possession. It goes to 7 games, and it's a coin flip. It's literally a coin flip because you have, I mean, clutch Michael Jordan, but you also have Kevin Durant on the Warriors. So it's like, what? And then the defensive matchups, I don't know. It's an interesting little theory.
Dennis Rodman, probably the best defender of all time. Scottie Pippen, great defender. I think they could have shut some of these guys down that we think are great, and they're gonna play with them tough. I don't know. Like, obviously, we'll never know, but
I would love to see like a computer simulation of that or something. I mean,
bro, we can play on 2K. That's the great thing about
exactly
NBA 2K. But yeah, 70-12 versus what the Warriors get, 79 and like 8 or something. I don't know. No, they got
73-9 and 72-10.
Yeah,
but I wasn't talking about that Warriors team. I was talking about that Warriors team is the one that lost in the finals. I'm talking about the Warriors team that won the championship last year.
Yeah.
I think
I don't know. That was a good team too.
Yeah, that's a really good team. So I don't know. It was just interesting. I like to spark a little bit of a debate. But I think that's pretty much it for the NBA segment on Hot Streak right now. So stay tuned, keep it locked, and we'll be right back. This is Conor McGregor, and you're now listening to Hot Streak.
Welcome back to Hot Streak Podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed that little break. We got some little NFL preview for you guys because it's the Super Bowl this weekend. Probably a couple days from when you're listening to this. Eagles and the Patriots are going to play. The best thing we can do, I guess, Carlos, is make a prediction, right? That's what we do every week.
Yeah.
So, who do you think is going to come out? Let's say, all right, let's do it by halves, and then we'll talk about the whole thing. So who do you think gets the first half?
I think the Patriots get the first half.
I think the Patriots do too. Nah, I don't know. All right, yeah. Actually, it's gonna be a good game though. This is what I think. It's gonna be a good first half, I think, and then the second half, one team will pull away, in my opinion.
I think it's gonna be down to the wire, dude.
I hope so. That would be freaking tight, dude. Last year was... You can't beat last year. Like, I don't know what crazy scenario would have to happen this year to beat
I know,
Tom Brady
right?
coming back. Like,
the Patriots would have to have a large lead, and then the Eagles would have to come back. That's the only way it could top last year's. I don't know. I hope the Eagles win, just because I can't go for the Patriots. It's just never.
Yeah, dude, I feel you. I mean, they've been winning for so long, but how can you bet against Tom Brady and Bill Belichick?
See, that's the thing. I wouldn't bet.
Tom Brady has proved that you don't have to be the best quarterback to win the most. You know what I mean? Like, he's a great quarterback, but he's not the most talented quarterback in the league. He works harder than a lot of quarterbacks, and he's smart.
I feel like his work ethic definitely helps him, because he doesn't have the best athletic ability. He's never been the best athlete. Yeah. So his work ethic makes up for that, and his time, his execution, his the way he prepares for these games. I definitely think that's what makes him better than everyone else.
I think that too, but I think he's good too, right? Like, he's good. I think he's smart. That's what he brings, because he can understand the playbook. Like, he can read it in and out. He knows every single play. He knows everyone on the team. He's under a good system, a good coach.
Is he a system? Is he a system quarterback?
I think obviously he's been one, but it's like we've never seen him on another team. But in my opinion, I think he is. In like the truest sense of the word, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's definitely the epitome of a system quarterback. Just because when he got injured in 2006 or 7, where he blew out his knee, Matt Castle came in and won 11 games with the Patriots. So
yeah, and what happened when Jimmy Garoppolo played?
Yeah, exactly. See,
dude, even before who was it that played before Tom Brady?
Oh, Drew Bledsoe.
Drew Bledsoe. This guy was doing great too. Like,
he got signed to a 10-year contract.
Yeah. Seriously.
He was about to get paid.
Like, Drew Brees is, I heard, one of the hardest working quarterbacks in the league. Like, this guy eats, breathes, sleeps football. And he's the first one in, the last one out. Every player that's played with him says he's like the hardest working quarterback or player they've played with, just like work ethic wise. But, like, he hasn't seen as much success in the sense of, like, winning playoff games and championships. So that's why I think that combination of Bill Belichick there and, like, the good, like, stable organization.
Along with selling their souls to the Illuminati.
Well, of course, yeah, the Illuminati factor. It's like, dude, this is just built and bred. Like, how can you bet against this? These guys know each other. Like, they know the playbooks by the back of their hands. Like, everything's just so well organized. Then there's those times where it falls apart too, like last Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly.
The first half.
Yeah, man. So the Super Bowl this weekend, obviously the last game of the year. Pretty excited to watch it. Super Bowl party, you said, Saif?
Yeah, come through my house, man. We're throwing a little party
in P-Town.
Yes, sir.
For sure. And then,
for real though, you should come through, bro.
All right.
I don't know if you work, but come through.
And then as far as the rest of the league is concerned, Roger Goodell has said that he's been trying to evaluate how to perfect the catch rule in the NFL. Obviously, one of the most controversial calls. Play calling rules allowed or that exist in the NFL. What determines possession, what determines a catch, what determines the loss of possession, what determines a touchdown. If he catches the ball, crosses the plane, and fumbles, is that a touchdown? If he is at the plane and falls down and the ball kind of juggles, is that a touchdown? How are they going to change this rule to make it as transparent as possible? I don't really know what the heck is going to go on, because this is ridiculous. Like, we have players out there catching a ball, getting hit, having possession while they're in bounds, getting hit out of bounds, and fumbling the ball out of bounds, like, and then it not being a catch or whatever the circumstances are. I think it's a pretty hard evaluation of that rule. It's going to take a lot of time and effort to perfect it, and I don't think they can do it just in one off season. And then we have news about the Redskins coach, or not coach, owner. He decided he does not want to change the name. Obviously, the Redskins, controversial topic. We've had sports in America, other major sports in America, change logos for controversial teams like that. Like the Cleveland Indians are no longer going to have their infamous Indian logo on their jerseys or memorabilia. And the coach, or the owner of the Redskins, decided that he's still going to keep the name the same, keep the logo the same, and he doesn't care. So
yeah, I could see both sides of that, just because it's offensive. Some Native Americans find that totally offensive, and the other side is this guy would totally have to rebrand his football team and all the tradition and all this stuff that
it's basically making a new team. Because basically,
the thing is, though, fans support it. At the end of the day, like, fans are supporting it, and I don't know how to justify it for him, but it's like I don't know where to agree and disagree.
Yeah,
because you can't tell someone, yo, you have to change the name of your football team. Because if he said this is the name of my football team, and everyone loves it, then why should he change it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just because maybe a few people are offended. Not even every Native American is offended about it. Just a few. But, I mean, I can see it being offensive, because in baseball, there's some really offensive ones that are just, like, straight up, like, slurs, racial slurs, I guess, that people would take offensively.
Yeah. I don't really have anything else to add on that. It was just one of the headlines. I mean, obviously we only have one game this weekend, so all the headlines are on that. But more news around the league. This is actually pretty surprising to me and Saif. It does have to pertain to the Redskins as well. The Chiefs are trading Alex Smith to the Redskins. The deal is, I don't think it's completely set in stone. Like, we don't know who they traded for or what, but the trade has been agreed upon, and it won't become official until March 14th, when the new league year starts. Kansas City will receive a third round pick and an unnamed player's compensation, and Smith would sign a 4-year extension with the Redskins, averaging $23.5 million per year, with a $71 million in guaranteed money. That obviously is probably the cheaper alternative to Kirk Cousins, who looks like he is on his way out of Washington.
Yep.
Landing spots for Kirk Cousins. What do you think?
I would love to see him go to the Jaguars. I don't know what the Jaguars' obsession is with Blake Bortles, but Blake Bortles would be a great backup QB. Someone to get you by in a tough position. But he shouldn't be your starting quarterback, bro. Not right now.
I don't think they have an infatuation with Blake Bortles. I think he was the cheapest alternative. They didn't have to sign him to a max year deal. They have him on a 5th-year option. So I think he's going to become a free agent. potentially going to be out of there. And I think Kirk Cousins lands in Jacksonville, and that's a perfect fit because they have a great defense, and you won't have to rely on Kirk Cousins putting up 35 to 40 points on the opposition every game, where he can manage the game with a great defense. They have a great running back. Their offensive line has improved. Obviously, this is this past season that we're talking about, like in terms of the personnel, but I think that's the best spot for him. Also,
Kirk Cousins would be a great system quarterback, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
He's talented, right? He's smart.
Yeah, he's very talented. That's the thing. Like, a lot of people don't like him, but he's a good quarterback. He just played on a shitty team.
Yeah, he played on a really dysfunctional team. And it's like, you can't blame it at all for him because, like, Tom Brady, it's like what he has is a really good team, a functional team, and a good head coach who knows what he's doing.
Exactly.
Yeah, if you put Kirk Cousins in Tom Brady's position, who would be?
Kirk Cousins would have 3 rings, probably.
I don't know. Yeah, he'd have like 3 rings. Just remember, Tom Brady lost 1 against Eli.
2.
He took 2 of his rings.
I think another potential landing spot for Kirk Cousins is Denver. Denver is looking for a quarterback desperately. They have a lot of issues in their team right now, but definitely quarterback is the biggest void. Failed experiments with Paxton Lynch, with Brock Osweiler again, and Trevor Siemian. But yeah, those are 2 big names where I can see Kirk Cousins landing. If they're going to pay him the max, I don't know. I don't think Denver pays him the max, but I think that's the only way Kirk Cousins goes to Denver is if they do pay him the max. But I see Jacksonville as the best landing spot for Kirk Cousins, and then that division would be pretty much stacked. Deshaun Watson, Marcus Mariota, Kirk Cousins, and who else is Andrew Luck. Maybe.
Yeah.
And
I don't even know what's happening with him.
Yeah, and I mean that's pretty much it. There was a free agent frenzy at the Pro Bowl. Obviously, a lot of high caliber players looking for more high caliber players to land on their squads. I've heard Derek Carr potentially talking to Jarvis Landry, becoming really close friends. Maybe Jarvis Landry, who does not seem to want to re-sign with the Dolphins, maybe he makes a trip to Oakland. I don't know. It's still early, obviously. We're just speculating at this point, but there's going to be some major changes with the Oakland team, in particular with the new coaching staff. They just hired Brian Callahan as a quarterback coach, Greg Olson, the offensive coordinator, obviously John Gruden as the head coach. It's going to be pretty interesting, but we won't know until later in the year when we get some more free agency frenzy, obviously in March, I think. I think the draft is in April. Is that in April or is that in March?
It's in March.
Yeah, so...
or no, it's got to be like April.
Yeah, in the spring. So we're gonna definitely see some moves being made, and the league is gonna look a little bit different come April. But yeah, man, do you want to give a Super Bowl prediction before we end this segment, or did you already feel like you've done so?
Honestly, I'm taking my with the Patriots, and I'm comfortable with that. Last year, they made an unbelievable comeback. I think this year they're going to do it again and take that W.
Patriots, all right. And then, fuck, man. I don't want to predict the Patriots win, but it's probably going to happen. So, yeah, the Patriots probably 24-20. And, yeah, man, that's it for this segment on the NFL. Keep it locked. We still got some soccer news coming up. And, yeah, so stay tuned.
This ain't no hot links. This is no hot chicks. It's Hot Streak Podcast, man.
Yo, we're back on Hot Streak Podcast. We're going to bring you some international soccer news coming up. So we're going to start off right here in the Premier League. Earlier in the week, there were some midweek matches. Arsenal lost Henrik Mkhitaryan's debut. it was a horrible mistake by the keeper. Peter Cech just gave the ball straight up to a forward, like 6 yards in the box, and he just scored the goal. They lost. What's new? This weekend there's some fixtures, some pretty interesting ones. Arsenal versus Everton. That's going to be a clash of mid-table teams. And then Manchester City against Burnley. Manchester City obviously being the favorite there. I don't know if Saif saw this, but Kevin De Bruyne's goal this weekend was one of the nicest goals of the weekend. He shot a free kick and placed it right under the wall. Like, they jumped and he put the ball right under him. Goalie didn't move, stuck bottom corner. It was beautiful. And on Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, Liverpool versus Tottenham Hotspur. That should be a really good game. Liverpool just came off of a win, so they're looking to regain some winning ways. And the Premier League is pretty much stacked in Manchester City's favor. They're winning. It doesn't look like anyone can beat them at the moment. Hopefully there's some good highlights for you guys to watch this weekend. And in the Spanish league, Real Madrid's coming off a win, so they think that they're going to win the championship now, but it doesn't look like it because Barcelona also is coming off a win. Real Madrid face up against Levante, Sevilla against Eibar, and Barcelona on Sunday versus Espanyol. That's a derby. Two rival teams right there, both out of Barcelona. They hate each other's guts, but it should be a pretty good game. And then Atletico Madrid versus Valencia. That should be a pretty good game as well. I don't know if you saw this either, Saif, but Messi scored a sick-ass free kick this weekend. This past weekend, it was perfectly placed. So hopefully he's actually outscoring. I think he has 20 goals or 19 goals this season, and Luis Suarez has 16 in the league. And he scored in 8 consecutive games. That's the first time that any Barcelona player has scored in 8 consecutive games since 2012, I think. And in the German league, Bayern Munich's still winning. They're going to face up against Mainz on Saturday. Borussia Dortmund plays on Friday. Today, they actually already played, so you guys should have the scores for that. Schalke versus Werder Bremen, Wolfsburg versus Stuttgart, and that's pretty much it for all the bigger teams in Germany. And then the French league, again, PSG is looking like they're going to run away with this title this season. They're going to go up against Lille and Olympique Lyon versus AC Monaco, so that should be a very, very good game. Nice attacking prowess on both of those teams. Look for a lot of goals on that. And there's some news about Neymar potentially leaving PSG this summer.
But already?
The most expensive transfer in history might look for an exit. I've heard that Real Madrid are making a huge push to try to sign him this season. They're going to supposedly, I don't know. This is a lot of rumors. Real Madrid is trying to get rid of not only Cristiano Ronaldo, but also Bale and Karim Benzema. So they're 3 main strikers. They're trying to offload those to try to bring in Neymar and Mario Icardi from Inter Milan. I'm not sure how that's going to work out for them. If Neymar does end up going to Real Madrid, he's going to receive so much backlash, so much hate. But they're saying that the reason why he may want to move from PSG is because the chances of him winning a Ballon d'Oro on that squad are slim, just because they're potentially not going to be able to win the Champions League. I don't think that's a real reason. I think they have a high chance of trying to win the Champions League. They're actually going to go up against Real Madrid next week. So you should definitely keep your eyes peeled for that. And then let's go to the Italian league real quick. It's still the same. Table. Their Inter is still, or Napoli is still 1 point ahead of Juventus, but they actually have this weekend off. It looks like only a couple teams are playing, and actually no. Saturday Inter plays, and then Roma plays on Sunday. AC Milan plays on Sunday as well, and Juventus plays on Sunday. So there's a lot of teams playing on Sunday, and there's not that many teams playing on Saturday this weekend. And then as far as the Champions League, we have Tuesday, February 13th is match day. So Juventus versus Tottenham, Liverpool versus Porto, Real Madrid versus PSG on Wednesday the 14th, Valentine's Day. So if you ain't got no date, you got a date with the Champions League.
Hey.
That's good. And then the week after that is when the other teams play. Barcelona versus Chelsea, Bayern versus Besiktas, Manchester United versus Sevilla, and Shakhtar Donetsk versus AC Roma. Yeah, man. So we're pretty much set for the teams that are going to be playing up against playing in the Champions League knockout stages, and then a lot of teams are already on their way to the finals for their league cups. PSG is on their way to the final, and I think Barcelona plays played Thursday this week against Valencia. I want to say it was Valencia. Yeah, we'll have some updates on that later, but that's pretty much it for the show this week. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you follow us on Hot Streak Podcast on Instagram at Hot Streak Podcast, and on Twitter at Hot Streak Pod. Follow CRP Shows on Instagram. Check out all our dope photo shoot pictures that we took this past weekend. And yeah, Saif, you want to give yourself a plug?
Yeah, bro. Follow me on Instagram at hotstreetpodcast.com.
For sure. And yeah, guys. So that's it for this episode. Thanks for tuning in. See you next week.
This was a Cesar Rodriguez production. Check out more at crpshows.com.